New York City is the first city to initiate the V passport or proof that you've had the V to be able to enjoy certain things inside of that city. And as we see here, this is coming from The Hill. New York City to require V for indoor activities, restaurants, and gyms. So this is Mayor De Blasio's attempt to try to make the city safer and more welcoming to people. This is a city now that has had an issue over the last year with a lot of the wealthy people leaving the city. You know, the crime rate, if you take a look here, this is from the NYPD's own statistics site. It's from last year, which obviously the lockdown, people were stuck at home, you know, things were a little bit down. But as you can see here, it's slowly been increasing. So it's a city that has a little bit of a crime problem. So it's, you know, we've had the rich leaving there. You had this happen last summer where Andrew Cuomo, who is in his own little bit of hot water right now, was begging the rich to come back and actually offering them tax breaks, which is amazing to have a Democratic governor, someone who has been, all for taxing the rich, actually trying to give them an incentive to come back to the city. He offered to cook them dinner. Here you have a quote here. He said, "You've got to come back. We'll go to dinner. I'll buy you a drink." Yeah, because that's what they need, to be bought a drink. Come over. I'll cook for you. They're not coming back. That's the problem. And he was going to lower their taxes because he knows that if they leave the city, there's that New York City surcharge, and if they leave the city, they don't have to pay that. So, why stay there, especially if it's kind of a declining city with more mandates and restrictions being put in place. They were leaving, and I don't see this new move as any way to really incentivize them to come back. Now, of course, De Blasio, even last year, did speak out against this and said, no, we should be taxing the rich. They can afford it. They can afford to have, everyone else, to kind of carry everyone else while this shutdown was occurring last year. And so you had a little bit of a situation between those two not really getting along. But I found it very interesting that Cuomo was trying to say, hey, well, we won't tax you as much. Just come back. See, it's always great to tax the rich until they leave, and then you're out. Your city's suffering, and then it's like, oh, come on back. Yeah, forget about that, taxing the rich thing. We'll just do away with that for a while. It's kind of ironic. But anyway, so here we are. New York City will require proof of the V for workers and customers who want to participate in indoor activities, including dining in restaurants, working out in gyms, and attending theater performances. Mayor Bill de Blasio announced on Tuesday. The policy is one of the first of its kind in the United States and comes amid a nationwide spike in the sniffles infection, driven largely by the spread of this new variant in people who are not V'd. The Key to NYC Pass program will begin on August 6th, and enforcement will begin around September 13th, or on September 13th, De Blasio said during a news conference. It's time for people to see the V as literally necessary for living good, full, healthy lives. De Blasio said, if you're not V'd, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in many things. This was his direct quote. While New York City is the first city to institute a municipal V passport, the state developed its own Excelsior Pass mobile app, which debuted in March. Private businesses, including sports arenas and concert halls that wanted required proof of the V, could use this app. The mayor said on Tuesday there'll be multiple ways of showing the proof of the V, including a paper card, the Excelsior Pass, and the city's own NYC Safe app, which was unveiled on Monday. While other major cities, including Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Los Angeles, have all recently reimposed the mask mandates, de Blasio has expressed a reluctance to require them. During a press conference, he said the focus needs to be on the V, We need to focus on the V. Our strategy is V-centric. Anything and everything we do is to support V. Anything less than V isn't going to get us where we need to go. What we all want is to put a nail in the coffin. I'm sorry, it's not what it says. What we all want to do is nail people on getting the V. And very bluntly, showing life is much better when you're V'd. That's a quote from him. You can't make this stuff up. The program is the most aggressive to date by De Blasio to try to increase the city's V rate. About 66% of city's adults are fully V'd, but the rates vary throughout different parts of the city. Also, different parts of the ethnic makeup of New York. Not all, some ethnicities are far behind others in getting V'd, whether that's by availability or preference. The fact remains that there's an uneven amount of people in each of the ethnicities that have the V so far. Last week, he offered a $100 incentive to city residents and employees who make an appointment at a city-run V site. On Monday, he mandated that all New York City employees get V'd as a condition of employment. That's all the city employees, so that's the municipality employees. He acknowledged that not everyone's going to agree with this, but insisted the move is necessary to save lives. He also defended the legality of the policy, saying the Justice Department has made it clear that mandates are legal even though the Vs are not fully approved by the FDA yet. De Blasio said he thinks the policy will provide a push for younger New Yorkers to get the V, especially service industry employees. He said he hopes similar policies get adopted by private industries and other governments. And then a quote from him, "I'm taking this action in part to inspire others to follow suit." So there you have it. We have our first push for a mandated V passport here in America. We've seen how this has gone in other places in the world so far, Paris, and we'll see what happens in New York and see what other states do in, if they're going to follow suit or if they're going to take another strategy in how to deal with the current situation. So thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and tune in on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time as we delve into this topic, the UFO phenomenon, the paranormal, biblical prophecy, which this is a part of, and the hidden mysteries and strange histories of the world. I thank you for watching.